Today, we're diving into Apple's latest release, the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, some of you might be wondering if it's worth the upgrade or if it's just another iteration of the iPhone 15 Pro. Well, let me break it down for you. First up, let's talk about design. The iPhone 16 Pro maintains Apple's signature sleek look, but it's slightly larger this time around. We're looking at a 6.3-inch OLED display, a bump up from the 6.1 inches of the 15 Pro. While that might sound exciting in real-world usage, the difference is barely noticeable. The good news? The borders around the screen are slimmer, making the phone look even more modern. But here's the catch. To truly appreciate those thin borders, you'll have to use the phone without a case, which, let's be real, not many of us are willing to risk. Another small yet welcome change is the screen's minimum brightness. It can now go as low as 1 nit, which is a lifesaver when you're checking your phone in bed at night. No more blinding your eyes. However, there's no anti-reflective coating like what we see in the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So, using it outdoors can be a bit tricky with all that glare. The camera system has some noticeable improvements, but they may not wow everyone. One of the major changes is the swap from a 3x zoom to a 5x zoom camera. For those of you who love zooming into your shots, this could be a game changer, but if you're like most people who just snap casual photos, you might not even notice. Apple also included an improved ultra-wide snapper, which adds a bit more versatility to your photos. The camera control button, placed below the power key, sounds like a cool idea, but after some use, it feels overhyped. You can swipe and tap on this button to zoom in and out, but honestly, it's easier just to use the screen for that. And speaking of colors, Apple's sticking with its professional palette. So no fun or vibrant shades here, just desert titanium, a goldish tone, natural titanium, gray, white titanium, and black titanium. If you want something more fun, you'll have to check out the regular iPhone 16 models. The iPhone 16 Pro comes equipped with a new Apple A18 Pro chip, which promises to be more powerful and efficient than its predecessor. The real highlight here is Apple Intelligence, their AI feature that will roll out in phases over the next year. While it's great to know this phone is future-proof with AI, it's not something that will immediately change your experience. When it comes to everyday use, the difference in speed between the iPhone 16 Pro and 15 Pro is negligible. Unless you're doing heavy tasks like video editing or gaming, you're unlikely to notice much of a change in performance. Battery life is where we get a small, yet appreciated upgrade. The iPhone 16 Pro houses a 3,577 mAh battery, which is a 9.2% increase from the 15 Pro. In practical terms, this means you'll get about 27 hours of video playback, compared to the 23 hours on the 15 Pro. But here's where things get a bit disappointing: the charging speeds. Apple still sticks with 20-watt wired charging and 25-watt for MagSafe. While the increase in MagSafe speed is nice, it's still far behind competitors like Samsung, which offers much faster wired charging. One of the most exciting aspects of the iPhone 16 Pro is the promise of Apple Intelligence. This new AI-based feature is meant to enhance how you interact with your phone, but the catch is that it won't be fully rolled out for months and maybe even a year. Let's get back to the camera for a moment. The main camera is a 48-megapixel sensor, the same as the one on the iPhone 15 Pro. Subtle, and for most users, the iPhone 16 Pro will be a familiar, reliable device. However, if you're coming from the iPhone 15 Pro, it's probably not worth upgrading unless you absolutely need that 5x zoom camera or the slightly larger screen. But if you're still using an older model, say the iPhone 12 or 13 Pro, then this could be a worthwhile upgrade. In short, the iPhone 16 Pro is boringly great. It's not groundbreaking, but it's still one of the best phones out there. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. As always, see you in the next video. Month's time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the Capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, we don't clearly expect any other major changes. We're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time.